Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Bills going up against the Dolphins. With that, let's get out to our commentators, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis, with this Week 10 matchup.
Larry, it was a little late in getting here, but autumn has arrived on a beautiful November day in Miami, Florida. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Oh, spinning away. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now Jones to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Throwing Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a handoff looking right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Let's go. And they'll go with a ground attack here. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. A couple of Bills team up to bring him down there.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here we go. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Let's go! From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
On the ground, the first carry for Ryan Matthews. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
How about this opening drive? Play number 12 now. This is 3rd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So the hard count gets them there, neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defense thought they had the timing down, but the quarterback hit them with a hard count, got them to jump.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Steven Anderson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Just how they wanted to start this one, in the end zone on their first possession.
And that just happened. How about that play right there? As you said, opening possession, setting the tone for everything. Now, I'm going to look forward a little bit now because everyone should be celebrating his catch in the end zone. The tight end gets a little bit of love. But if you're a receiver on the team, you should be thinking to yourself, boy, oh boy, things are going to open up the rest of the game if they have to focus on him as well.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. On first down, Luck. Wide open receiver complete. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll be a Buffalo first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 1st and 10, Locke. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Offense readies for a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Here's Locke, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter, and a big turnover. His guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense. Here on the road early, they got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They were looking that time for Leonte Carew. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Surveying the field. Great protection. And that is incomplete. He was looking to hit Ryan Matthews there out of the backfield. And that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
It's taken to the 26. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they? And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Ndamukong Suh in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession, but they face a second and long to start things out. To throw on second down is Locke. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Here we go on 4th. Lock. And it is incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a hold. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
He felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to throw, Love. And he fires one incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That gave him a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
$10 yards to go on 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So he makes the grab, and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. And the play clock's running down. To throw is Luck. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get 1st downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Jones. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Second down following the run.
Let's go! Grand 38!
Throwing Jones. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time. That one complete to Anderson. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. The offense behind the chains after the infraction. It's now 3rd down and 14. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Ryan Matthews on 3rd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's taken in at the 9. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
15 yards on the pickup there. And it's 1st down, Buffalo. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st down, it's Love. Now they go screen, it's complete. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Now a first down throw. Lock. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You played through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Lock on third down. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the Bills have taken the lead. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And an excellent return there as he's, okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. Going to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
And there's a run to be happy. With good, solid yardage, he'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back. To throw on second down is Locke. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It'll be a gain of 11, and they're going to have a third down. So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And
sometimes maybe because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that
and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Telvin Smith in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Matt Darr now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. A chance for us now to look at this Bills defense again. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
So maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Couple of Bills team up to bring him down there.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Looking to throw. And he has Carew. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
All right, let's just go and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. And his throw here's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On play action, they'll throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes up. The heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Throwing Jones over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Dolphins have a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Here we go.
Now Jones. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job 1. A touchdown certainly would have been nice, but here you get back on even terms, and now you've got the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 20 that time. And the Bills are going to have a 1st down.
Now, back in my old days, before college, I played a little bit of offense. I used to love to pitch the ball to my backs. How about that pitch right on that play?
Yeah, going right. People run to the right more than to the left, don't they, in real life and in video games?
That is true. A lot of offenses constructed to run to the right side of the line of scrimmage. Those big tackles, usually your power blockers.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Now 3rd down, less than a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Luck now to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting two picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Back to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. 10th carry now for Ryan Matthews. Stiff-armed him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 16 on the pickup, and that's good for a Miami first down.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing the ins and outs of being a veteran.
Back now here on EA Sports. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, third down here.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of times the analytics tell you to go.
And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. Clay Matthews in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play here for the Bills. 42 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if this is a game plan, but they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he comes back with one complete. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they send a man in motion right. From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Play clock winding down. On 2nd down, here's Luck. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. An extra DB defensively here. Big stop needed on 3rd and goal.
He may be a blitzer.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. So now here come the Dolphins. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw here. And Anderson's got it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. Throwing Jones, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. Now Jones. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now a 1st down throw. Luck. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got some space here. A big play there out of the running game. 36 yards.
Little pitch play, toss play. Allows the running back to get some vision and some big guys to get out in front. This time they did it to the right side.
Yeah, went to the right side. Is there a preference, right or left, for a lot of these guys that run the ball at this level?
I know in the good old days, most teams were constructed to run to the right side. I can't tell you exactly why. That was the power side. The left side was what they used to call the quick side. But in this case, the power won.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Luck. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have broken the tie. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And let's look here now at Ryan Matthews. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Give him 11 on the gain there, and the Dolphins are going to get a first down. Good throw. Receiver does his job, and it's a first down for the offense.
Excellent execution all the way around. Plenty of time for the quarterback and the receiver to work their first down magic.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Finding time. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's got time in the pocket, and his throw is incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
They'll set up to throw. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And here come the Bills. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Second down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
A third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So 2nd and 10 here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Bills, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody,